Today's show is brought to you by Professional Tree Care. If you still have some limbs that need to be taken care of from all the storms, or would like to just get those trees away from your house, give Professional Tree Care a call to get on their schedule and get your yard looking nice so your neighbors don't complain. Friday, April 21st, you are invited to the Summit to Reduce Violence. It's happening at Jackson College Central Campus at Potter Center Dining Commons, and it's happening on Friday the 21st, 7:30 a.m. registration, and the presentation will be 8:15 to 1:30, featuring guest speaker Dr. Chris Meld.
Joining us now is the superintendent of the Jackson County Intermediate School District, Kevin Oxley, and Western Schools Superintendent Mike Smajda. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning. How are you guys?
Good. Doing well.
Yeah. The super day to have superintendents.
It's very, very super. So we've got a lot to talk about. The special education renewal millage, and why is that so important?
It's really important to the local districts. Since about the mid-90s, Jackson County has supported a millage. The dollars come to us because of Proposal A. Local districts can't raise their own millage for operational purposes, so they're done on a countywide basis. The taxes are levied by us and then distributed 100% of them back to the local districts. And this covers their non-state mandated special education costs. I should say they're mandated but not reimbursed by the state costs.
Right. And the cost for these programs through the roof. So without this funding, students and families in Jackson would struggle. This has to happen.
Absolutely. You know, special education kids need special services, and Jackson County has always been just fantastic in making sure that those services happen. But the local districts have to come up with a way to pay for that. And if these dollars weren't here, which they've always depended on since the mid-90s, something else has to give because those costs are still mandated.
And I want to piggyback what Kevin said. You know, I think people get this misnomer that you look at special ed. Well, I don't have a special ed child, so why should I support this? There's a cascading effect it has to our general fund budget as well, because as Kevin pointed out, you take out Western's 1.5 reimbursement for special ed, which is required by federal law, we have to make that up on budget elsewhere. And so that can get painful, because now what are you going to do? Your programs were 88% staffing costs. So where do you start paring off $1.5 million? So that's why it's important to us. When I got to Western years ago and I found out there was a special ed enhancement millage, I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's an incredible gift to our community and to all of our schools.
If you take out all the numbers and all the legal jargon, at the end of the day, there's 4,000 families in our county that obviously directly benefit from these special services. I think if you look at it just on the surface that way, it's great for our county. And talk about the replacement of the 2017 millage. It will not be a new tax, correct?
Correct. It's just a renewal. In fact, it has rolled back since 2017. So instead of 1.55 mils, it's 1.5408, I believe.
Yes.
Hey, that's still a decrease.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not just, you consider cost of educating special education students. These families, to have a child with special needs, it's already costing them a lot of money. They have so much more that they have to come up with in addition to what they're getting from the schools.
Absolutely.
The districts, every district is going to have to respond differently if you weren't providing that funding.
Absolutely. We're very grateful for the partnership with the ISD. ISD provides a lot of special ed support, most of our special ed support. So to have them as a partner the way we have them, and to have this reimbursement to offset our costs beyond what they have, that means a lot to our community.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some photos, some examples, some of the work being done across our great schools.
I've had a chance to visit Lyle Torn and Kate Young and the dedication of those teachers and staff is unbelievable. I've had opportunities to go for Reading Month and some of the other special events. It really does. When you look at the facilities, not just at the ISD, but at Western or GPS, it takes a lot more in terms of equipment and staff to care for special education students.
And the students that you're seeing here, they are in the local districts,
Right.
Serviced primarily by the local districts with these dollars. And so, these students are mainstreamed into the classrooms and, really being taken care of by staffing provided by all the local districts.
Yeah, schools are doing amazing things. Last week, Northwest opened a coffee kiosk, coffee shop operated by special ed students.
Very cool.
They took that from us. But, about 3 or 4 years ago, our MICE teachers created a program called Pour It Forward, where they do a coffee shop twice a week, and they take orders. And it's wonderful. The kids take the orders, the kids make the coffee, the kids deliver the coffee to the individual buying it. And it's really become a neat project for them, because the purpose of that program is to get these kids to a point where they can do something out in the community, work in a coffee shop, work in a counter somewhere. It's an employability skill for some of our lower kids.
Yeah, it's important skill too.
A lot of people think the Northwest and Western have a sports rivalry. No, it's a superintendent.
I just sent Jeff an email saying that you guys were opening an IHOP on campus. So.
But I will say that happens across the county, and it's a fun, neat, competitive spirit.
Yeah.
What can we do for our students with special needs? And they have fun with it, but they're doing good things for kids.
Yeah. Mike, you guys are asking voters for support on a non-homestead millage as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. The non-homestead millage is something that people don't know a lot about. Western passed their initial non-homestead millage in '94 for a 20-year commitment. We renewed it once in 2014. This is only the second renewal in 30 years that we've had to look at.
Wow.
But the key to the non-homestead is it only impacts any rental properties, vacation properties, businesses, industry. It does not impact your home and qualified agricultural land. So, my explanation to a group last night was, so this 18 mills is important for us to get our full funding, per pupil funding. If it doesn't pass, if it goes down, what happens to Mike Smajda's taxes for my house? Nothing, doesn't change. If it passes, what happens to Mike Smajda's taxes for his personal house? Nothing, it doesn't change. Now, if I had hunting land, that 18 mills is assessed on that. So it really is important to get our full foundation allowance. To our district, it's about $2.2 million. Wow. And again, that's a huge hit not to have that revenue, and you got to take it from somewhere.
And I would just add that what you're seeing is local districts have really lived within what the taxpayers have provided. You don't see increases out there. You don't see that happening. They're saying, we can live within that if we can continue to have it. And I think our local boards hold us accountable to make sure that we do that.
And it's, as you mentioned, with the Western, no increase in taxes, and same for the ISD.
Yeah.
There will be no increase, no new taxes. It's just a renewal.
Correct.
And there's also information available on the ISD website if people want more, and also with your millage.
Yes, if you go to wsdpanthers.org, you go to our website, there's a link to get to the ISD's informational page on the special ed millage, as well as one to get to our page on the non-homestead. And there's information out there. I had some great calls, talked to some folks, responded to some emails. There's an FAQ on our page. So we want people to understand that this is an important millage just to continue doing what we've been doing.
Interestingly, Mike Smajda has Kevin Oxley's old job at Western, right?
Well, no, I was the high school principal.
Oh, principal.
Yes. So great times at West. Yes. I was at Northwest too. I can say our school, all of our school districts do a fantastic job, and I think I speak for all the superintendents when I say, you know, just what a blessing it is to be in Jackson County where they support special needs kids and all kids in the manner they do.
Yeah, and all the districts work really well together. The superintendents, you guys meet all the time. That's I think really neat.
Yeah, very unique.
And what's really nice is, you know, Mike Smajda is a season ticket holder now for the Green Bay Packers, and he said I can have his
David, you
tickets
hear that?
anytime I want.
We have actually-
I appreciate
I don't know
that.
if my daughter and son agreed to that.
We have a part owner of the Packers in our building.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
Yeah, we'll let you
Excellent.
maybe meet him after we go to break.
Well, I'd like to, you know, what you said, Bart, is, you know, we have 12 local school districts, and Kevin's not our boss, but Kevin does a great job of herding the cats, and we have a good competitive spirit, but we work extremely well together too.
Maybe you can put your heads together and find a new quarterback for Green Bay.
Well, we need that. Yes.
Kevin Oxley and Mike Smajda with us on the morning show. We continue right after this.